Today we are working Psalm 44. Some traditional magical uses for Psalm 44 include to eliminate any intolerable situation, for protection from assault, to feel close to the infinite, and to feel safe. There's another way that you can use this psalm, which I thought was kind of interesting, and that is when you feel as though your spells or prayers have not been answered, to get them working again. So if you feel like you've been a failure at a spell or it didn't work out right, this is a psalm that you can use to turn that around so that things start working for you again. The way we work psalm magic is simple, easy, and effective. We take the psalm in question and we speak it out loud all the way through once without stopping. We commonly call this an incantation. Once we've finished with that incantation, we go back through the psalm and we consider each verse in turn, one at a time. We search for meanings in each of those verses, and we call those meanings occult because they are frequently hidden under the surface. Just by doing your very best to find those seeds of magic, those seeds of wisdom, and applying what you find to the situation that you've brought to the psalm, those seeds of magic are planted in the depths of your mind, where they take root, they grow, they blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is exactly what you and I are going to do right now with Psalm 44. We have heard with our ears, O God, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days in the times of old, how thou didst drive out the heathen with thy hand and plantest them, how thou didst afflict the people and cast them out. For they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand and thine arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hadst a favor unto them. Thou art my king, O God, command deliverances for Jacob. Through thee will we push down our enemies, through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hated us. In God we boast all the day long, and praise thy name forever. Selah. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame, and goest not forth with our armies. Thou makest us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. Thou sellest thy people for naught, and dost not increase thy wealth by their price. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. Thou makest a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. My confusion is continually before me, and the shame of my face has covered me. For the voice of him that reproacheth and blasphemeth, by reason of the enemy and avenger. All this come upon us, yet have we not forgotten thee, neither have we dealt falsely in thy covenant. Our heart is not turned back, neither have our steps declined from thy way. Though thou hast broken us in the place of dragons, and covered us with the shadow of death. If we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, shall not God search this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. Yea, for thy sake we are killed all the day long, we are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Awake, why sleepest thou, O Lord? Arise, cast us not off forever. Wherefore hidest thou face, and forgettest our affliction and our oppression? For our soul is bowed down to the dust, our belly cleaveth unto the earth. Arise for our help, and redeem us for thy mercy's sake. It's addressing Elohim here. In the King James Version of the Bible, Elohim has always been translated to God, whereas the Tetragrammaton is translated as the Lord. We have heard with our ears, O God, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days in the times of old. First thing we have to do is remember what we're here for, and we're here to get back our power, to get our mojo working again. Something's not working, we're getting it to work again. The next thing we have to do is orient ourselves to who it is we are addressing. And in this particular case, it's called God. God, Elohim, is a symbol for us, magically, of the one power. There's one power, one source, one force, one substance in all the universe. Whomever this force is for, nothing can be against, and this force is for us. Therefore, our success is assured. It's important that we understand that we're not praying to an external deity. We're not praying to a gendered deity. This is a pre-gender force of the universe, the one and only force there is. When it says, "We have heard with our ears, O God, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days in the times of old." Our fathers are our memories. So it's important for us to remember, first of all, when things did work for us. Somehow, at some point in time, something worked out for us, and we want to anchor our minds on that. How thou didst drive out the heathen with thy hand and plantest them. How thou didst afflict the people and cast them out. The heathen are errant thought forms. The people are the thoughts in our minds. And so we're remembering when our magic worked. And if you're brand new to magic, then you don't have that necessarily in your memory banks, but you do have a memory of when something did work out for you. For they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand and thine arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hadst a favor unto them. There's so many times when we can look and we say, wow, that really worked out for me, and it was supernatural. There was obviously a higher power at work here. It wasn't just me focusing and wasn't just me willing this into being. This was something supernatural. This was definitely something bigger than just me. And this was true magic that happened. Very important to remember those times. Thou art my king, O God, command deliverances for Jacob. Jacob is whom in the Old Testament later became known as Israel. Jacob had a lot of personal shortcomings, and yet the Infinite didn't see Jacob's imperfections. The Infinite saw Jacob's purity of soul, and even though Jacob made a lot of mistakes, the Infinite renamed Jacob Israel. In other words, the Infinite initiated Jacob into the mysteries. This is always a reminder when Jacob comes up in the Psalms that you don't have to be perfect in order to be successful at this. You just have to do your best and make as many mistakes as you make. It doesn't matter. You're still going to get the success that you need. When it says, thou art my king, O God, command deliverances for Jacob, the source of our life, the perfection that exists, that extends itself as us, sees us as perfect, and always wants us to succeed. Through thee will we push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. So this just represents whatever the problem is that hasn't been solved, that you can't seem to figure out, can't get your wand working. What's going on with this thing? Does it need batteries? Why isn't it working? We're recognizing it's through the infinite that this will be taken care of. It's through the infinite that this is taken care of right now. Just as we are an extension of the infinite, and therefore the infinite and we are one, so is the infinite one with the solution and is expressing that solution for us and through us right now. For I will not trust in my bow, neither will my sword save me. I'm not going to try to fix this myself. I'm going to allow it to be fixed through me as a co-creation. So we're not just saying you do it and I'm going to go and eat bonbons and scroll through TikTok. We're saying you and I together are one, and we are, as a partnership, unstoppable. But thou hast saved us from our enemies and hast put them to shame that hated us. Remembering again, this has already happened in the past, and we want to get to the point where we recognize that whatever our desire is here, whatever the problem that needs to be solved or the goal is that needs to be filled, we recognize that it's already the will of the infinite that this happens. So therefore, it's happened in the realm of cause, and we have to just allow and accept it. In God we boast all the day long and praise thy name forever. Selah. So boasting is the same thing as praising. It's two ways of saying praise. When you praise something, you are getting enthusiastic about how good it is. This is the secret of all magic to find something that's good and get excited about it. Recognize it, because then that starts to expand that good. So when you are boasting in God all the day long, it doesn't mean some concept or abstract symbol of a deity. It means the good in your life. So take a moment to look at the situation that you say isn't working for you and ask yourself, is there anything at all in relationship to whatever this situation is that is good? Or even sort of good, that I can praise, that I can get happy about. If you can't, then at least find other things to praise and get happy about, to recognize all the gifts that you already have. Selah just means to sit there for a minute with this and to meditate on that. Now, everything changes in this verse. Verse 9, all of a sudden it's, you abandoned me, God. What's wrong with you? Are you broken? Why does this thing not work anymore? Very angry at God for a while here. Sometimes that is a necessary thing, rather than just pretending like, well, the infinite will take care of it, and I guess all I have to do is praise. If you're feeling abandoned by the infinite, if you really are feeling like nothing's working for me, it's important to give voice to that and to move that energy so that you're not just suppressing it. So here we go with all that. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame, and goest not forth with our armies. The feeling of being cast off by the infinite, being all alone, that is an ego thought. And the ego thoughts of being all alone, and that if there is an infinite, it's not interested in us, that same ego is the same ego that is responsible for creating problems that seem unsolvable. So recognizing that this idea that we're being cast off is the same part of the mind that created the problem in the first place. Thou makest us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves. So it's your fault that this isn't working for me. It's your fault that I'm getting eaten up by this problem. It's your fault that nothing is working for me. It's your fault that my life sucks right now. What's wrong with you, God? Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat. Thou hast scattered us among the heathen. You did this. You, God, it is your fault. I had nothing to do with this. I was minding my own business, and then you screwed me. What is wrong with you? Thou sellest thy people for naught. Thou dost not increase thy wealth by their price. I'm broke because of you too. Not only have you forgotten me, not only are you the reason why my relationships don't work, but you're also the reason why my finances don't work. What is wrong with you, God? Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are around about us. And because of you, God, nobody likes me. Stupid God. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. Not only do you screw up my relationships, but now I'm scorned, and people mock me, and people feel sorry for me and pity me. Ugh. If it wasn't for you, everything would be great. My confusion is continually before me, and the shame of my face covered me. I'm ashamed of my life. Thanks to who? You, God. For the voice of him that reproacheth and blasphemeth by reason of the enemy and the avenger. These people out there, they don't seem to have any problems, and they're blasphemers. They're awful people. Look at all of them. They all just are happy, they're prosperous, they're joyous, carefree, and they don't even believe in you, let alone work for you. And here, me, the one that loves you and is always constantly thinking about you, I don't have anything good happening for me, and it's all your fault. All this has come upon us, yet we have not forgotten thee, neither have we dealt falsely in thy covenant. Okay, so things are sort of turning back, sort of like a regurgitation that's been happening, and now we're starting to reassemble our thoughts here. Even though it's your fault, God, I'm starting to remember you are the source of my life, and that maybe you can get this taken care of. I'm open and receptive to the idea that maybe you can fix your problems. Our heart is not turned back, neither have our steps declined from thy way. Okay, now we're just kind of coming back into the truth that the infinite hasn't done anything to us, and the infinite has not made a mistake, and it's not because of the infinite that we are having problems, but it is through the infinite that we will have success again. And we're recognizing that. And we understand also that the infinite can take it when we have a hissy fit. So it's fine for us to have these moments. You're not being blasphemous. And even if you are, the infinite can take it. The infinite can totally take it. Understands, wants you to get it out so that you guys can get back to work together again. Though thou hast sore broken us in the place of dragons and covered us with the shadow of death. Even though we are in this verse making it God's will that we have had these problems and that we seem to be not being able to get through this, we are understanding at the same time that we have a role in this. If we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, shall not God search this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. Go ahead, I'm an open book, God. Look through me. You can see I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. When we say that, we have to mean it. It's not that we've done something to offend God, and that's why this is happening. But since we're asking the infinite to search us out, why not search out the mental causes for the problem that are the true cause of the problem, rather than blaming God, and recognize that the same force that we're blaming can come through and sort out for us what the problem is in our minds and remove that. Yea, for thy sake are we killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Again, we are acknowledging that the problem is still happening. Whatever it is, it's still happening. When we say, for your sake, we're doing this, we are putting our thoughts about the infinite forefront in our minds, even in the midst of the problem. Awake, why thou sleepest, O Lord, arise, cast us not forever. That's an important tool. And if we were smart, we would have started with this. When we say awake to the infinite, it's not that the infinite's sleeping and we're the alarm clock that's waking the infinite up. It is that we are remembering, oh, that's right, we have to start it. It's got to start with us. We have to be the one to get the ball rolling. And so that's what we're finally doing. We're awakening unto the reality of how this works. Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and forgettest our affliction and our oppression. When we say that the infinite is hiding the infinite's face, the face is that through which we can recognize the identity of the infinite. And our face is the way that the infinite recognizes us. It's not the physical face of the infinite. It is the way that the infinite manifests in our lives. So the infinite doesn't hide the infinite's face, but we look in the wrong places for it. We are recognizing that here in this verse, and we're realizing that the infinite's never forgotten us, never has gone anywhere, never hid from us, but at some point or another, we started misusing our minds, and now we are asking for that same power that we've been blaming for the bulk of this psalm to reorient us and reorient our perceptions and our perspective on the situation. And it's through that reorientation that the healing or the success in the spell happens. For our soul is bowed down to the dust, our belly cleaveth unto the earth. Now the soul means the deep mind in these psalms. It doesn't mean the soul, which is an expression of perfection from the infinite. It doesn't mean soul like we understand soul. It's always the subconscious or deep mind. So if our subconscious mind is bowed to the dust and our belly cleaveth to the earth, we are acknowledging why we are having problems. So we need the infinite to help us to reorient our deep mind so that it's not bowed down to the earth and cleaving to the dust. We need to instead uplift our deep mind so that we can have the success that we desire. As it exists in the deep mind, so does it exist on the screen of space. And until we reorient our deep mind, fill our deep mind with the thoughts of that which we desire, we won't be able to experience it on the screen of space. So it's an important verse. Arise for our help and redeem us for thy mercy's sake. This is where everything happens for us. And it's all very simple. Arise for our help. Now again, the infinite wasn't sleeping, but we arise. So we arise to meet the infinite and redeem us for thy mercy's sake. When you're redeemed, it means that you're put through a distillation, and all the good, the essential matter, is extracted and the dross is discarded. When we are asking to be redeemed, it's an indicator that the solution is already within us. It's just through the infinite we are able to extract that solution and let go of everything else so that solution manifests easily and instantly in our lives. And so through this process where we start by acknowledging the source of our good and then realize that the source of our good seems to have abandoned us, and we get all upset and angry and allow ourselves to release all of that stuff, and then come back to understanding that what we need is to be redeemed. We need to have the solution extracted from all of these negative thought patterns in our deep mind. The solution is instantaneous and perfect. It's a wonderful psalm. It's an unusual psalm, but it's a wonderful psalm. So you just keep coming back to the same psalm each and every day until you get a sense that everything's working out. You'll get a sense of peace and certainty that all is well. And when you get that sense, everything's well and you can just relax. You're not worried about your future, about the situation. It's an indicator from your deep mind that the spell has been cast. And at that point, it's best for you to just forget about it and move on to something else. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be.